back to yet again another video of mine. You're watching Aman here on Taur Beauty. So in today's video, I want to show you guys how to pick your foundations, how to apply your foundations, creating a base for your foundation, and just the kind of whole 101 on how to do a foundation. So if you guys want to see this, then do tune into the video. And also don't forget, if you guys are liking what you guys are seeing, then subscribe down below, hit on the notification bell so every time I upload a new video, you guys will be made aware. Also, don't forget to follow me on my social medias on Instagram, which is AmanBaines43, and TikTok, which I have newly joined as well. So yeah, follow me on my other social media platforms, and continue to the video, and hopefully I shall see every one of you in my next one. Bye guys. So in today's video, I wanted to sit down and film a one-on-one foundation routine for you guys, just an overview and just tell you guys a little bit about foundation. So I know there's so many one-on-one, 101, 101, am I saying it correctly? But there's so many beginner videos on foundation, but I still believe that so many of us still are very oblivious and still don't know how to foundation match. We still don't know how to put on foundation. We don't know what brushes to use. We just don't know the whole start to finish process of applying foundation. So I believe I may have done a video for this, but regardless, if I have, it's been a hot minute since I've done an updated version. So I thought I'm just gonna sit down here and talk about foundation with you guys. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first thing we've got to understand about our skin and applying the foundation and the foundation application is definitely got to be the base. So we have got to have a good base to start off with. To start off with the base, you first need to recognize what kind of skin you have. Do you have oily skin? Do you have dry skin? Do you have very dry skin? Do you have normal skin? Do you just have an oily T-zone? What kind of skin you have? So for example, with my skin, you guys might not be able to see from the camera, but my skin isn't very smooth. Now, I'm one of the fortunate ones where I don't have any acne and I don't have any deep pores, and my skin, I might not have so many breakouts, and it's not very bumpy, but it's not the smoothest either. These are all things which are going to contribute towards the foundation and the foundation application. So my skin is very, very, very dry. So I usually have kind of normal to dry skin, but ever since the pregnancy and ever since having the baby, my skin has been very dry. So I like to apply a dry skin moisturizer. So I have shown you guys in my previous video which moisturizer I use on a daily is this one here. So this is the Nivea Rich Nourishing Deep Moisturizer Serum. It's got natural almond oil and vitamin E, and this one is for dry to very, very, very dry skin. Well, it only says very dry skin, not very, very. But this one is a dry to very dry skin moisturizer. So I applied this one on the daily just because this one is very oily. And I also apply this one when I'm sometimes doing my makeup. This is the L'Oreal Hydrogenous Aloe Water. I always mention this on my channel whenever I used to have my videos. This was kind of my go-to aloe water. This is actually really good as well. The difference between these two is huge. Obviously, this one being that this leaves your face quite oily because it's meant to be for very dry skin. So your dry skin is meant to suck in all of that oil and just give your face that moisture. Whereas this one doesn't leave your face with any oily skin, but this one just is a very good base, I believe, for my foundation. So I do use this one when I do my makeup, just because sometimes if I've got a lot of dry skin, like I can feel here, and when I look at the camera or when I look at the mirror, I can see my dry skin, and I just sometimes feel like the aloe water won't really get to those places. But if I do find that I don't have any dry skin on show, I will always go for this one. So now that we have defined what kind of skin we have, whether we have an oily or dry or normal skin whatsoever, we will pick our moisturizer in terms of that. Now I don't go very expensive on moisturizers. I just believe it's a moisturizer, it's something that needs to be, good for your face. I don't believe in spending lots and lots of money on a moisturizer which isn't really going to do well for my skin, and I'm just putting it on for my makeup. So I want a moisturizer which is going to feel good and be good for my skin, which I believe is a Nivea one. So I always believe, don't always look at someone else and buy a moisturizer or any makeup product or any product, skincare product, just because someone else is using it, because everyone's skin is different, and what might suit their skin will not suit your skin. So this is why I always believe, you know, just pick something that's right for your face, right for your skin. So getting into that, I'm just going to apply my aloe water for today, just because this one is going to be very oily and I really want to show you guys how the foundation sits. So I'm going to take about 4 drops of this. You only ever need to take kind of 2, but because, like I said, my skin is a little bit dry, I am going to go in with this. Now I am trying, guys, to try and keep my videos short and simple, and I do realize that I do like mumble on quite a lot, so I am trying to kind of stick to not talking too much and just kind of getting to the point. I'm just gonna really nicely just blend all of this into my face, and I'm just really rubbing this in, just patting this and rubbing this into my skin where I have my dry skin. And then whilst this dries and sets on our face, I'll tell you guys about the next product. So the next biggest question we always get is the primer. Now, especially if you are starting off with makeup, buying everything all at once can be very expensive. So it's always good to have a look at the inexpensive stuff as well. So that is the second thing you need to see about your skin. Do you have pores? Do you have bumps? Do you have acne? What kind of thing do you have? Now I have quite a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot, but I've got kind of pores around here. So I always like to have a primer which is quite smooth on the skin. So I like something to smooth out my skin, to make my base less bumpy and everything just to be kind of like a flat surface for my foundation. So that is what I always like to go for. And now the top primers which I use are these two over here. So this is the YSL Blur Primer, and this is the Benefit Pore Professional Primer. This one is in the Pearl Edition, if you guys can see. I don't know if the lighting's showing it much, but this one is in kind of like a baby pinky packaging, and obviously this one, there is only one of them as far as I know. So this is the YSL Blur Primer. This one is 30 ml and this one is 22 ml, but this one I feel like the Benefit one finishes really quick compared to the YSL one. I really love the YSL one. This has to be by far my favorite primer, and then this one probably comes second. This and the Smashbox primer comes second, so the Smashbox primer is also very good. So I would say the Benefit and the Smashbox primer, I would say, are kind of like the same. And then I would say for a cheaper version, if you want a primer which is good for covering your pores, I think Makeup Revolution have a good, very good kind of silicone-y textured primer. Also to kind of just blur everything out, so I would really have a look at them as well. So if you want to be on a budget, then definitely have a look at Makeup Revolution. If you've got the pennies, then I would go for either one of these two. Now the only thing I would say about the YSL one is the YSL primer I've seen, especially when I've applied it over the Nivea moisturizer, I found that it's not very great for oily skin. When you apply the YSL primer, I just feel like it just glides off your face, because this is a very kind of a silicone flat effect. So your skin is literally just left so smooth with this primer. It really gets into your pores. And the way it just sits on your face, I feel like for oily skin, it's not really the best one. So trying it out over the oily moisturizer, it just hasn't always worked well. And my foundation, I feel like during the day has moved. So for that reason, I would always use this one if you have got oily skin. So that is for your base, kind of just your base application. So now that we have moisturized our face and we've also primed our face, we're gonna go into the foundation. When it comes to foundation, it is so tricky to pick your shade. When you watch YouTube videos and you listen to people and then they talk about your shade is golden sand, or you've got a warm skin tone, you've got a light skin, pink skin tone, olive skin tone. This for me was so confusing. Like, how do I know if I look like an olive? But this is where you can go and there's testers. So, you know, go and ask your the person who's selling the foundation, can we have some testers? I, in my personal experience, wouldn't ever buy a foundation in the first go, just because foundation oxidizes, foundation changes color. Regardless of how much you pay for a foundation, whether it's low end or high end, foundation and different foundations always oxidize, and some oxidize at kind of different levels as well. Some oxidize quite a lot and some don't oxidize at that much. So at that moment when you are picking your foundation, that foundation might perfectly match your face, but by the time you go home your foundation might turn orange, or your foundation might feel a little bit pinkish, or your foundation will just generally look darker on your skin. So I always say to get a tester is always kind of like the best thing to do. And then the second thing is never test your foundation against your hand. If you guys can see, if you're looking at my arm and against my thing, although it looks the same color kind of in the camera, I know my neck and my hand are not the same color. My face against my neck is not the same color. So I wouldn't ever match my foundation just to my face. So I've got a brush over here and I'm just gonna go onto my face with a couple of things and just show you guys the difference. So I've got this one here, which is a Maybelline foundation. This is in the shade Sun Beige. So I feel like this one is a little bit pinkish. So I'm gonna put this on just to show you guys. So if you guys can see, this foundation here is the Maybelline foundation. I am now going to put on the Estee Lauder foundation from the other side of the brush. And that is the Estee Lauder foundation. And then next to this one, I'm going to put the Fenty Beauty foundation. I did it on this side there. So the first one I have got is the Maybelline Superstay foundation. This one is in the shade Sun Beige. Next to it I have got the Estee Lauder foundation in Cashew. And on this side I have got the Fenty Beauty foundation in 290. So I'm going to put the Maybelline foundation in 250. Next to the... Right. So now these are, have I got this on properly? Right, so these are all of my foundations kind of just on my face, which are pretty near to the color of my face, and you guys can easily think that this is kind of like matching my skin. So let's kind of talk about these foundations and how I would match these foundations. So this one here, which was the Maybelline foundation, pretty much looks like it blends into my face. If I just blend some of this out from this side, as you guys can see, this is blended in really well to my face, and it pretty much looks like I'm wearing no foundation, as from what I can see from the camera. It literally feels like I'm wearing nothing, but this has matched against my face, and once this foundation all goes on my face, this foundation is going to look matched to my face and not my neck. So we need the foundation to match to the neck. So when you are taking pictures, when you are out in public, your face doesn't look like a white canvas or like a lighter canvas to your face. And now if you look at the Estee Lauder, this is the kind of perfect match to my skin. It's my shade and it's what I wear on a day-to-day. So I'm just going to blend in the Estee Lauder, and as you guys can see, it blends in well and it matches my neck as well. And can you guys see the Sun Beige foundation from Maybelline? It's turning quite pink. So I don't know if you guys can see the pink from the camera, but this one is turning very pink and it's making my face look pink as well. So when this shines through and looks pink, I can clearly tell that my face isn't a pink tone. So when you get the pink undertones coming through and your face is looking a little bit more pinkish and it just doesn't kind of go to my skin, I can tell. This is meant for more of a pinky tone, I would say, in my opinion. I don't know if that is the fact, but in my opinion, this just makes my skin look a little bit pink, so I just know it's not the right color. And then when I look over to this side, well, you can have a look at both of the colors. The first one, which is a Fenty, which I'm just gonna blend in a little bit more. I can see already, again, this one is clearly not my color. Look at this. So this one is clearly not, it's so light compared to my skin, and it's just not blending in. Again, this one I would say is showing off a little bit more ashiness, and again, this has got a little bit, it is quite olive, but I would just say it's given a little bit, it's just given a lot of ashiness to my skin, again, because this one just doesn't match my skin at all. Now, if you guys have a look at the Maybelline one, and this is the Maybelline 250, when I blend the Maybelline 250 in, so I'm going to blend this into the outer part of my face. If you can see the Maybelline 250, that part of my face has blended in really well. And I don't know if you guys can see, but can you guys see my face lets off this kind of a very touch of kind of greeny color. Just imagine olive oil. That's the way I saw it. Just imagine the olive oil. I feel like my skin is letting off that kind of olive color. Just gonna go ahead and wipe off this foundation now. But now I am just gonna go into applying the foundation. So the foundation which I'm gonna apply today is this one here. This is the Cashew Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. So I'm just gonna apply this one, and what I usually do is take 2 pumps at the back of my hand, and I apply my foundation with a beauty blender. Some people like to apply their foundations with a foundation brush, just because they feel like the beauty blender sucks in all the foundation onto the blender, so they always kind of just apply with a brush. But I just prefer to use a beauty blender. The beauty blender which I'm using today is by Beauty Blender, and I always feel like that black one for me just works really nice. I just like the black one. But yeah, so they have a few different colors. If you again find that the Beauty Blender sponge is expensive, there are so many other alternatives. I started off with the Real Techniques Beauty Blender, and I used that for, oh wow, I used that for so many years. That was always my kind of like favorite go-to beauty blender. So that one was the one I used. And then as you guys can see, my eyes are a total different color, and I don't like that about my eyes. So I always apply foundation onto my eyes as well, just because I don't like the natural color of my eyelids. I'm just gonna apply some foundation onto my eyelids as well, and just whatever's on my brush. And then I also like to take the rest of the foundation and just apply it kind of just under my chin, just taking it not too far down to my neck, but just a little bit, just kind of under the chin, just so this area just kind of looks a little bit blended, especially if I am going out. I'm just gonna go in and blend a little bit more out. And this looks pretty decent and nice. But this is kind of all of the foundation application. So I'm just gonna quickly go off camera, finish the rest of my makeup, and then I shall be back. Okay guys, so I am now back after slapping on a hell of a lot of makeup. But I have finished my full face, done some eyeshadow, applied some lashes. But yeah, I've just finished all of the makeup. So now that my whole makeup is finished, I'm just gonna set my face, and I'm gonna do that just by kind of showing you guys, even though it's literally just one product. But what I'll be using today is the Pixie makeup fixing spray. I've already sprayed some of this to my face, so I'm just gonna apply a little bit of a gentle amount again, just on my face. I absolutely love this. I've just applied a gentle amount because I already applied quite a lot. But this really just kind of brightens up all of your face. As I'm looking now, my face is looking really highlighted, really kind of glowy, and it's literally just because of this thing here, and then obviously a hell of a lot of highlighter. But this is the final finished look, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this 101 on foundation. It was a little bit long. I do apologize, but I really wanted to get into the details. But that is going to be it, guys. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, then definitely give this video a big thumbs up. Also, don't forget to follow my social medias on Instagram, AmanBraR43, and I've also joined the world of TikTok, so follow me on TikTok as well. And yeah, so that is it. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel and just help the Taur Beauty family grow. I just love making videos for you guys and being here and just talking to you guys. But also don't forget, just leave some suggestions as well. Any other videos you guys want to see, just leave some suggestions down below. But that is going to be it from me for now, and hopefully I shall see every single one of you in my next one. Bye guys.